What's up, guys? Episode 18 here. We are back. It's been a grip. It's been a while. Definitely been a little busy, a little hectic here in Portland, Oregon. Recently just had Christy's family here. First family visiting. Pretty much first family visit since we've been here in Oregon. So hosting the fam, got the brothers, the mom and the dad, the in-laws, everything like that. So it was a lot of fun though, man. Yeah, let's just begin with that. So we had our family come for the first time here in Oregon, and busy couple days. I think we're 4 days there. Did a lot of stuff. Ate a lot of food, drank a lot of drink, and visited a lot of spots. We went swimming in a swimming hole, some of that natural, pristine, beautiful water with some rocks. Doing some of that rock jumping into the water. What else? Yeah, we went to 3 pools, and that's down south, a couple hours. Beautiful place, beautiful place. Um, Crystal clear water. You can jump in, swim in, let your dog swim in. Got kids jumping off little rocks. You got kids climbing up rocks to jump off of them. I mean, kids were just going crazy. I mean, where's the parents at? Dude, they had this one kid, or these one kids were climbing literally rock climbing up these slippery rocks all the way to the top of this little ledge. And it wasn't that high, but there was no parental supervision around. And I always thought that was cool when I was a kid, but now that I'm older and I'm seeing all these 8, 9, 10-year-olds rock climbing on slippery rocks because everyone's wet, when they climb up, kind of put a little fear into me. What happens if one of these kids fall and hits their head? So I'm already in dad mode, as you can see. I didn't go climb up that little rock ledge and jump off, but those kids, damn, they did. Okay, and no one was hurt, so that was good. But I already starting to feel kind of like a dad because I'm like, dang, dude, that I would not do that. Those rocks look slippery, and maybe I'm just getting soft. Maybe I'm just getting a little soft. But yeah, pros and cons, I guess. Pros, you get to jump off a rock. Cons, you slip on your way up, hit your head. You have a TBI, and you're in a wheelchair with a sip and puff the rest of your life. So I don't know. You make the determination, but for sure, maybe parents maybe go stand there while your kid jumps off and rock climbs off these cliffs. But either way, the place is beautiful, and I did do some little bit of rock jumping. The water was nice and cold, crystal clear. It's that pristine out in the middle of nowhere in the woods, little swimming hole. So that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, we did that with them that first day. It was nice and warm. Went out to eat that night. Shoot, what we do the next day, I hung out in the city. Went to the coast a day. We went to the gorge a day. So got a lot in those 4 days. Bit of a beast hosting everyone in this small 2-bedroom duplex, but we did good. We had 6 people here, so we did good. It was a lot of fun. Glad to see them come. Glad to see them go a little bit, just because it was such a beast. Good to be back in the routine of things. But definitely had a lot of fun. Definitely going to miss them, and we're excited to come back in October to native Iowa and hang out for a few weeks. But yeah, definitely first experience living in a different city, having family come visit for the first time. But a lot of fun, a lot of fun. So what else has been going on? Actually, today is the morning after we had those 2 mass shootings. So yesterday, El Paso, and then later that night, Dayton, Ohio, 2 mass shootings. And to be honest, most of the time I hear about the mass shootings, I think about it for a little bit, and then we forget about it. We think about it, we send our thoughts, our prayers that way, and then you forget about it. But after seeing it yesterday, the Dayton one all day, and it kind of sticks with you for like 6 to 8 to 10 hours. Usually when they catch the guy, okay, that's like, okay, they caught the guy, like we can kind of like catch our breath now. Um, so it's like usually, if you're not affected by it, um, I'm not saying I'm a bad person, but it doesn't, I feel like it doesn't impact you as much. Um, and we're so used to seeing it all the time that you kind of forget about it after a day, 10 hours, 8 hours. Um, but these last 2 days, or this last day, I should say, last 24 hours, man, it was just one in El Paso, then boom, the next one later that night in Dayton, Ohio. And man, I was up. I was thinking about the one during the day, the Dayton one, and then right before bed, I checked Twitter, and lo and behold, another mass shooting. So I was kind of reading about that right before bed, and man, I had dreams. I literally had a dream last night of like being in a situation with a shooter or something like that. You don't remember all of your dreams, but I know I remember feeling some sort of dream experience where there was some sort of chaos in an emergency situation, and then it kind of messed me up overnight, just thinking about those, and then just thinking today about like what's going to happen if anything. And I saw my brother and sister at the farmers market today accidentally, and we talked for a minute about it, and it's like my sister-in-law brought up a good point. Like if Sandy Hook, where all the little kids were shot and killed, if nothing changed after that, why would it change after this? If you can go into a school and kill these little kids, and they don't do anything with the laws or anything like that, then this ain't gonna change anything either. If it's okay to go and shoot children and not change the law, then why would they do it after this? So man, it's a lot to think about, and there's a lot of opinions and everything like that. I'm not a gun owner. I don't own a gun. I do own a bow, but it's back in Iowa. Um, I never grew up around guns, so I kind of lean. I think what everyone wants really is just to do something. We're not doing anything. It feels like, and when you're not doing anything, I don't even know what the saying is, so I'm gonna butcher it, but like doing the same thing over and over and expecting it to change, and that's the definition of going crazy or something like that. So maybe we're just going crazy, and every time a shooting happens, we want change, and the flame's hot, and then it dies down until the next shooting, and the flame's hot. Maybe 2 in 1 day, the flame will stay hot, for a while, and maybe it'll burn a little bit more, and maybe something happens, because I think everyone can agree that something needs to happen, because whatever we're doing now is not working. Yeah, I think we should have guns. I think you should be able to buy your guns. I think you should be able to own your guns. You should be able to do whatever you want with them. But there has to be something going on, some kind of change, even if it's a little change. And like I said, I don't know a bunch about it, but I think most people would agree. Something has to happen, even if it's just little. So it's just interesting though. This time, two shootings in 1 day, it kind of sticks around with you a little bit longer. You think about it a little bit more. So, um, yeah, as everyone says, thoughts and prayers to them. But everyone else says, that doesn't do anything. Let's do something. We don't want to go crazy and have the same mistakes happen over and over again. So, I don't know. That's just one of those hot topics right now that I was just kind of thinking about. Right now. So definitely the flame is still hot with that one, and I don't know, man. Let me know what you think. I mean, there's a lot of opinions about guns and regulations and all that, but something needs to happen, whether it's little, whether it's big. You can argue either way for it, but yeah, let's get off that. So yeah, what else? So been working. Um, finally getting transferred here. I got 2 more weeks left at my current job, which I love there. I just don't love the commute. In 2 weeks, I get to go transfer to a different location, closer to the house right now. So that commute is a beast, and I've talked about it before. You know, talked about it a lot, but damn, it's a bit of a beast, and I know there's hundreds of, if not thousands of people that are making commutes similar to me every day, and it's 45, 50 minutes in the morning, about an hour 15, hour 20 to get home at night, depending on the traffic. So we're looking at close to 2 hours, sometimes even more than that a day of commuting. And I'm not even going very far. I'm going across town. In some respects, I'm going far. 30 miles, 25, 30 miles. But in other respects, a lot of it is stop and go. And man, that while I like being in the car, because I can get all my podcast listens to, I can keep up with the sports, talk shows, do all that. I do enjoy my time commuting to some extent, so I can catch up and keep up on everything. But it just kind of, and I'm sure a lot of people have had to do this, but man, if you are spending 2 hours a day commuting and you're working 8 hours, you're doing 10-hour days and you're not getting paid for 2 of them. So plus all the wear and tear on the car, the mental fatigue, the exhaustion of stop and go traffic, dealing with assholes on the road, dealing with bikers, motorcyclists, pedestrians, everything like that. I mean, it can be a lot on you. And yeah, I'm happy that's going to be over in a couple weeks. So should be a lot better. Should have some more energy, some more vitality. I mean, I'm excited. I'm really excited. Hopefully, I can get home a little earlier each day. Go in at the same time, but get home a lot earlier, and gonna have more time to do stuff. So I'm excited about that. We'll miss everyone though. Yeah. Yeah, the commute just like kind of sucks the energy out of you because when you work 8 hours and you drive an hour or 20 minutes through rush hour traffic to get home, man, the last thing you want to do is go to the gym, or the last thing you want to do is go run errands, or walk the dog, or do chores or anything like that. You just want to chill out and decompress. So, and I hope I got that little kick in me after work nowadays after I transfer. So I'm excited about that. Yeah. What else? You ever like call someone hoping that they don't answer so that way they have to call you back? Do you ever do that? Like, say you're supposed to call someone, whether it be a family member or a friend or something like that, but you don't want to call them, but you call them hoping that they don't answer so that they have to call you back. Isn't that kind of weird? Uh, I've done that sometimes, and I'm sure other people have done that too, where I don't know what it is, like, we all avoid talk. Like, I feel like we've gotten so bad, and I am too, about just talking with people, and I think even just calling people, you don't want to be the first one to do it, or like, and I'm guilty of that all the time, but you don't want to be the person to call or the person to interrupt someone's life or, take time out of their day or, you don't want to start the conversation. And I think that is the biggest thing actually is just starting the conversation with someone and calling them. So sometimes you'll call someone hoping they don't answer just so that they can call you back. And you'd be like, oh, now the ball's in my court or something like that. So yeah, you ever do that? Because I do that sometimes. And there's a lot of people that I should be calling or more often or keeping in touch with more often. I don't know. Do you guys ever struggle with that? Because I do, I think. But it's just hard to make a call sometimes to someone that you either do want to talk to or don't want to talk to. It's hard to talk to people sometimes, and yeah, let me know what you think about that. Making calls that you hope they don't answer, because then at least you tried to call them. You can say you tried to call them, even if they don't call back, or if they do call back, you can be like, "See, I called you first," So I don't know. It's interesting to think about. I wonder why we do it. I think that's kind of the reason why is we want to say that we did it first, but not actually having to do it. So it's kind of interesting that I was thinking about that. Uh, yeah, I call people, sometimes, and most of the time afterwards I feel good about it. But I don't know why it's hard to call people. Even call like, what it really is. It's probably like customer service ruined it for everyone because now, if you think about it, anytime you got like a warranty or any like type of bill stuff you got to work on or deal with some bullshit that you have to call in and like talk to a robot and stuff like that. Maybe that's what's changed us a little bit. That now we hate calling people because everything's so automated. Even if we know we're calling a loved one, a family member, something like that, but maybe like the what was it like customer service ruined it for everyone. Because now, like, dude, I'd rather just not take something back if I have to call. Or like, dude, setting up doctor's appointments or calling about like health insurance or making calls about license or DMV or like stuff like that, man. I would rather not do that. And I think everyone else would rather not do that. Like, dude, let's just do it all online. I don't want to be talking to a damn robot or some person in India, no offense. But yeah, maybe that's why I think everything's just easier on a text message too, because you don't have to think right away about everything. So it's not time sensitive when you're on the phone with someone and they're asking you a good question or something like that. You have to come up with a good answer. And if you're texting them, you got a minute to think about it, or you can do the three bubbles that they're typing, and then the bubbles go away, and like then the bubbles come back. They're typing something, then they go away. You can do that to them. So you can type and untype, but when you're on the phone, you can't. So yeah, I think the company's customer service kind of made us not want to talk on the phones a little bit. Maybe this is conspiracy theory. I don't know. I'm just trying to think about it out loud and figure out why I hope sometimes that people don't answer their calls, so they have to call me. Um, I don't know. It's a thought, but yeah, I don't know. Think about that. Let me know what you think about if you've ever done that. If you've ever called someone hoping that they don't answer, so that they have to call you back, and why did you feel that way? And I can, like I said, I think it's because we want to start a conversation, but we don't want to be the one to start it. We want to say that we started it, but not have to start it as well. So we'd rather have them call us back and say, "Ooh, we tried first." So that's weird to even think about, like why it's a competition of who called who first, or keeping in touch with someone, because sometimes it is. Sometimes you have family or something. I haven't called you in a while. You haven't called me. All that kind of stuff, and it comes a competition a little bit, and I don't know why it gets so weird like that. It should just be, I call people when I want to call them, and they call me when they want to call me. And I think we think each other are too busy all the time. No one's really busy, to be honest. 99% of the time we're not busy. We're on our phones, or we playing Fortnite, or we're watching the new Avengers and stuff like that. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. I'm just thinking out loud, spitballing it. But yeah. Um, so yeah, those watched the new Avengers last night. Saw it in theaters. No spoiler alerts. It's really good the second time. Um, yeah, it's a good movie, man. Avengers is a good movie. We watched Us, the thriller. It's called Us. When Christy Samuel was in town, that's a pretty good movie as well. No spoiler alerts on that. If you haven't seen either of those movies, check them out. Really good. Still want to see the new Spider-Man. Still want to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So we'll get to those. What else is new? I know you don't care, but Fortnite season 10 was released this week. So shout out to them playing a little bit, man. And honestly, the only time you know, I play Fortnite a little bit, and it's a free game, so I don't have to pay anything to play it. But I like to keep in touch with my buddies and my nephews who play, and my bros-in-laws, and my buddies. So that's my time to talk with them. I don't have to call them. I can spend a couple hours talking with them on the game, and yeah, that's probably why I play mostly. But I don't always play with them, so I guess that's not an excuse. But what else? So yeah, the fights were on yesterday, and man, uh, if you watch any of the UFC fights or keep up with it at all, I tend to watch them every weekend that they're on. I keep up with it regularly, all the news, all of that stuff. So I got my ear to the ground a little bit. I'm not an insider by any means at all, but I do keep up with it. I know quite a bit more than the average person, obviously, and maybe even the average fan. But I'm kind of a closet geek about it. But man, this past weekend, yesterday, Colby Covington and Robbie Lawler fought. And man, I don't like Colby Covington because he's pretty much the Donald Trump of the UFC. He wears the red hats, he's at the White House. He's the ultimate heel in the sport, as in he's trash talking. He's not very good at it. He does his trash talking. It's cheesy. He has girls with him all the time, like at the press conferences that obviously were paid to be there because they look like slaves in the sense that they don't have a smile on their face. They look like they're just being paid to be there. So he always has these like dime pieces with him, which is always like super awkward. And then he just always wears sunglasses inside and just this cheesy trash talking. So he's kind of like the ultimate heel in the UFC right now. First it was Chael Sonnen, and he's a lot like Chael Sonnen. He's got that, that WWE, that pro wrestling kind of heel trash talk, and it kind of just burst onto the scene the last, 3-4 years. Because I don't think when he first got into the UFC, he wasn't as in the deep end as he is now, but he's all the way committed. So, which you gotta like, do, and if he's gonna do something, don't do it half-ass. Use your full ass. So he's doing it full ass, and he's ass deep in it. So yeah, he looked great yesterday. He fought Robbie Lawler, who is as tough as they come, and man, he put on a crazy pace. Which even I was like, that's impressive. Because obviously it was impressive, but I don't like the guy, so it pains me to say that, like, oh man, he looked really good, but he looked really good, man. He was pushing the pace like none other I've seen in a while. So it's going to be interesting to see him versus the champion, Kamaru Usman, who also pushed that pace. It's going to be like a rock versus an immovable object, or whatever the saying is. So, yeah. Who else on that card? A lot of kind of good fights on that card, but yeah, a lot of guys went to sleep and woke up in the octagon on that card. I'll say that. There was a few fights where Mr. Erdine forgot to was a couple seconds late, but so people went to sleep and woke up with the lights and the ref standing over them. So that was interesting to see. But yeah, that main event was pretty much the main event, and yeah, Colby looked really good. So still not going to root for him, but I'm going to give him props. He looked fantastic. He backed up his trash talk against a very game former champion Robbie Lawler. So shout out to him. What else? What's been going on? Let me see. I talked about that. Food, yeah, the farmers markets are starting to heat up, if you know what I mean. Got the peppers in, get the tomatoes, the what's it called? Oh, figs are in. Um, yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, all I can think of. What else can you think of? Yeah, yeah. Think about that though. Next time you call someone and you hope they don't answer, just think about why you're doing it. I don't know. I don't know why I'm stuck on that and why I'm thinking about that right now or thinking about the mass shootings. Um, but yeah, everything's been going good though. We're still both working, still doing the damn thing here in Oregon. I have today and tomorrow off, so we're gonna try and hit up another swimming pool because it's supposed to be nice and hot here the next couple days. So what else? I got the tank top on, getting that tank top lifestyle going. Um, Still doing CrossFit a couple times a week. Hoping to bump that number up once the commute is no longer an issue because sometimes I don't get home until 6:30ish, closer to 7, so it's hard to get going after a long day like that. So yeah, I think that's all I got for you guys. Next one will probably drop sometime next week, hopefully. I know I say that every time. I just need to get shit together, and like I said, it's going to be a lot better here in a couple weeks once I don't got that beast of a commute. And so, looking forward to hearing you guys' thoughts and reactions on whatever I talked about today, whether it be the mass shootings, the gun laws, those kind of things, or the calling someone and hoping they don't answer. So that's all I got, guys. Take it easy. As always, if you can, subscribe on YouTube, on Instagram mostly, Facebook, the YouTubes, SoundCloud, and iTunes. Get all those up and running. If you can, hit a subscribe, maybe even like it, do whatever you can. If you don't want to, that's fine too. But if you do listen and you do enjoy it, that would help me out a bunch, guys. So I'll try and pump out more. I know I'm terrible, but we'll see. All right, guys. Peace out.